Hi friends, yesterday we have completed first paragraph of on saying please. Today we are going to learn second paragraph of on saying please, written by A.G. Gardiner. See here friends, I am reading this one. I may be as uncivil as I may please, and the law will protect me against violent retaliation. Here, writer says that I may be as uncivil. Suppose I behave uncivil, or I may please, or may be good. No, at that time, and the law will protect me against violent retaliation. Means, if a burglar hit me or he is stuck in my house, so at that time when I retaliate that burglar, law will protect me because that burglar committed had committed crime, and that's why I have to right to protect self. In self protection I can do that, so law will protect against violent retaliation. I may be haughty, no, I may be haughty or boorish. Here haughty means adamant person, boorish means, here see the meaning, rude person, uncultured person. If a person or a writer may be haughty or boorish, and there is no penalty to pay except the penalty of being written down an ill-mannered fellow. What will happen? There is no penalty. For discourtesy, there is no penalty. If I behave wrongly or rudely or hurt someone's feelings or intellectual status, at that time there is no penalty. Now, for ill-mannered fellow, you see, any ill-mannered fellow is there. A person, fellow means person. The law does not compel me to say please. Now, according to law, means here is no compulsion. Does not say please. You have to say please. No, thank you, sorry, such words. Or to attune my voice to other people's sensibility, and any more sensibility, and any more than it says that I shall not wax my mustache or dye my hair or wear ringlets down my back. Another thing writer is telling here now means, uh, law will not compel me to say please, or to attune my voice to others people's sensibility, or to hurt in a discourteous manner other people's sensibility. And more than it means, again, here he says that I shall not wax my mustache or dye my hair. It is my personal thing. No, or to wear ringlets down my back, or to means, here locks of hair, ringlets, or to means elongate my hairs or on the back. Here law will not do anything. Nowadays we know that people, so many boys and girls, how they fashion themselves, no, very means, we can say very what we say, humorous or something, that we laugh on them, but it is permitted. No, some students, they just have the combing their hair fashion of that hair, that is like a peacock tails or something. So it is the right of that person. Law will not interfere in that thing. So poet want to say here, or wear ringlets. It does not recognize the laceration of our feelings. No, means here law will not recognize our laceration. See here the meaning of laceration, a cut or tear. A cut or tear here, our feelings, as a case of compensation. Means when we do that, hurt someone, so law will not say that you have to pay penalty for that or a compensation. There is no allowance for moral and intellectual damage in this matter. So for moral and intellectual damage, suppose we hurt people morally or their intellectual status, so we hurt that people's feeling, so there will be no compensation against that. This does not mean, now see here, next paragraph, this does not mean that the damage are negligible. But here it does not mean the damage of a person's feelings or emotions when we hurt someone. It is not the meaning if there is a no law, but here we can say that it is not good not to hurt someone's feeling. So the damage, whatever the damage caused to that person, it is not negligible here. It is probable that the lip man was much more acutely hurt by what he regarded as a slur upon his social standing than he would have been if he had a kick on the shins for which he could have got a legal redress. Now, what is the meaning of these lines? Here, suppose now if a person hit that lip man, kick that lip man on the shins, shins means here down that knee, the portion means our leg, down that knee. If someone hurt, no, so at that time we can say that no, he hurt that person, that's why he threw that person out of lip, for which he could have got a legal redress, and for that it is a legal redress for him, means right for him to oppose or to retaliate that person. Now what is the matter? The pain he forget, the pain of kick on the shins soon passes away, but the pain of a wound to our self-respect or our vanity may poison a whole day. Then what happened? Suppose the shin means he hitted a passenger, hitted under the knees of that lift man. No, a wound, he got that wound, but that wound will be cured. No. But when we hit someone's self-respect, someone's vanity, pride, that is, that hurt very much. Now we forget wound, but we cannot forget the hurt that is in our mind or in our intellectual status or in moral thing. Now that is, we cannot forget that wound. So that is that hurt is more than kick. Now this is the damage of that person's self-respect damage. Means it damage lip man's self-respect. So that is more than a kick. The pain of a kick on the shins soon pass away. No, but the pain of a wound to our self-respect, no, or our vanity may poison the whole day. The whole day that person will think about his insult, because insult is more sensitive, no, than to create wound or to kick a person. No, we can forget that. So he the whole day he will think about that in his mind, only the things that the thoughts that coming, means why he insulted me, no, because he insulted self-respect. Then see here, I can imagine that lip man denied the relief of throwing the author of his wound but out of the lift. No, I can imagine here, means writer is imagine here, that lip man denied the relief of throwing the author, or means here the passenger, of his wound out of the lift, brooding over. No, okay, he forget that wound, but he brooding over means thinking over the insult by the hour. No, he will think about that insult. Just I told you about that. He will not forget that insult, self-respect insult, because it hurt his self-respect. No, by the hour, and visiting his wife in the evening as the only way of restoring his equilibrium. Then what happened? No, he think over that insult. He went home. No, after finishing his duty, and to get equilibrium. Suppose he would not threw that person out of the lift. What happened? He think about that insult. No, because that passenger hurt liftman's self-respect. He went home. Liftman went home after completing his duty. No, then maybe no at home, whatever the restoration, whatever he want to means take out the revenge of that person. That thoughts were there in his mind, and what happened in evening as the only way to restoring his equilibrium means he only burst out his anger on his wife, and that maybe he want to get equilibrium means balanced position, because in his mind no there is there are thoughts, no, because someone hurt his self respect, and whatever the anger that is in his mind, all that anger he will pour on his wife. No, and that's why he will get equilibrium. Now suppose these things happen if he would not throw away that person. For there are few things more catching than bad temper and bad manners. No, means here bad temper and bad manners. No, now what happened? Bad tempers and bad manner. Now see the difference of bad tempers and bad manners. Now passenger entered in lift. He only say in an arrogant voice, "Stop." This is bad manners. And a person, that lift man, threw him that passenger out of the lift. That is bad temper, because a passenger hurt his feeling self-respect, and on that he give the reaction, that is throwing that passenger out of the lift. That is bad temper. No, means bad temper. So this is the difference between bad manners and bad temper. So here we have to control our temper. Now see here the next. Here what happened? For there are a few things more catching than bad temper and bad manners. While Sir Anthony Absolute bullied Captain Absolute. Now here writer is telling a story about a story. Captain Absolute, Anthony Absolute. Now another different story here. See here the reference are given here. You can see here the meanings of that equilibrium, balance. I just told you. Brooding over thinking. No, Sir Anthony Absolute to page boy means this is the lines of that text. This amusing incident described in Act 3rd, Scene 1st of The Rivals in 1775, a comedy by Sheridan. Means this is a comedy drama, and in that drama Captain Absolute and Anthony Absolute is there, page boy is there, no, Peg is there, all that things are there, means characters are there, and this is the Rivals written by Sheridan. Sir Anthony is Captain Jack Absolute's father. Sir Anthony is a Captain Jack Absolute's father, and Fag is the son's servant. Here the reference is given. Now see here. I can imagine where it is. Okay. When Sir Anthony Absolute bullied Captain Absolute, the latter went out and bullied his man, Fag, whereupon Fag went out downstairs and kicked the page boy. What happened? Captain and Sir Anthony Absolute bullied. Bullied means scolded on or impressed or something, say that quarreled. Means Captain Absolute. And what happened? Captain Absolute no bullied his man, that is Fag. No, because we know that a boss scolded on servant or employer scolded on employee, that employee will will not hurt that boss or will not dare to say that boss. No, no. So what happened? The resentment or the anger in the mind of Captain Absolute, he will pour to his means junior. No. So fact that was junior to him, and whatever he just poured his anger on fact, and what happened? Fact thereupon went downstairs and kicked the page boy and the another employee, that is another person. Now what happened? Fag won't say to captain, no, absolute. Then, whatever the anger that is in his mind, he only kick to that means junior, to his junior. That is a page boy, means here a servant, and he kick his servant. No, because he won't kick his boss, his employer here, and Sir Anthony Absolute. So that's why he kicked that page boy. Means what happened? It infected. No, Captain Anthony Absolute infected to bullied to Captain Absolute to fag, and fag to page boy. Means it is one type of infection. Now, friends, now listen. It is one type of infection when we behave other person rudely. No, according to that status. No, so it infects. No, means senior to junior. No, senior to junior. So this is one type of infection. So discourtesy also a infection to our society. Our society. So like here, coronavirus infection. No, we can cure. We can find out vaccination. No, we can maintain social distancing. But how we can stop discourtesy, the infection of discourtesy in our society? No, so many things that happen. No, we know that we always see that quarrels are going on. No, everywhere. Fighting is going on everywhere. No, quarrels are going on. So this, because of disinfection, discourtesy, because of this infection, and we have to maintain our courtesy so that our society will run smoothly. Means courteous words are the oil. No, that giving the lubricants. It is a lubricant. No, making free of our lives, our lifestyle, or something that smoothly running our life. Next, it will come here. Reference will come here. You will see there. So, page boy, he kicked that page boy. Now, what happened? Probably the man, probably the man who said top to the lift man was really only getting back, no, on his employer who had not said good morning to him because he himself had been henpecked at breakfast by his wife. Now what happened? Why that lift man not say top? Why that passenger not say top please? No, this is the story behind it. No, when he came to his working place, he greeted a good morning to his boss, good morning to his employer, and in return, his employer didn't say anything, not accepted a good morning of that person. Now what happened? In his mind there is anger, and when he returned from his duty, in lift, no, he burst out his anger on lift man, or show that anger in a raised voice, stop only, no, on that lift man. Now what happened? Why that boss or employer didn't say good morning? There is another reason. At home, means that employer's home, no, there was a quarrel between his wife and him. No, henpeck. Here, see here the word henpeck means something that quarrel between wife, or what we say that sometimes boss, or sometimes in our home the control that is of our wife. So here, see here, his he himself had been henpecked at breakfast by his wife. No, means quarrel. No, with his wife, who to whom the cook had been insolent because the maid had answered her back. Now what happened? And wives quarreled with cook. Cook insolent that wife means employer's wife. Cook say abusing some insulted his wife, and why cook also insulted or give the answer because the housemaid, no, the housemaid means servant, house servant here, housemaid answered her back. No, housemaid and that cook quarreled, and that housemaid answered cook back, no, in return, and that cook, no, quarreled with wife, and wife quarreled with husband. So this is the chain. This is the chain, and that's why this chain is continuous. No, so this is infection. No, this is the story here, and we infect. See here okay. We infect the world with our ill humors, and that's why writer is saying here